Hey guys! Welcome to the Disness meeting. I am Kat with Get Down to Disness, and I am so excited to be back and talk to you about what happened at D23, what's coming up, and answering your pre-submitted questions, 34 of them. Holy cow, I had to cut you guys off. I guess that means that you really are interested in these ears. As you know, or maybe you don't, I'm giving away the starter set of interchangeable bow ears tonight, and anyone who pre-submitted a question gets double entries. So let's see who's here. Hey Shannon! Hey Carolyn! Oh, can everybody hear me? No sound. Oh no. Okay, hold on. Can you hear me now? Hi, Tina. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Sabrina. Jessica can hear me. Sabrina can hear me. Steph, yes, they are so much more comfortable than these guys. These actually give me a headache after a while, but these are really more roomy. And I don't have a big head, so I don't know why, but these red ones are so tight. But these are super comfy. Hi, Paul. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Carol, Matthew. Hey, Susanna. Tina, I saw that you were there. Hi. Okay, so now everyone can hear me, I think. Hi, Debbie. All right, cool. All right, so I'm glad that you can hear me, and I don't know what just happened, but I am using a new microphone tonight. Instead of using my internal computer microphone, I'm using a brand spanking new one that my husband got me for doing these lives and coming to you more clearly. Hi, Tanya. How are you doing? Let's see. Okay. Hey, Lou. Good evening to you, too. All right. Dolores, you're late. Come on. It's 2:09. Into it. You're good. Hi, Jill. Hi, Jennifer. Good. We've got a lot of people here right at the start, so that's great. I have to really get going because, like I said, 34 pre-submitted questions, and we want to get, thank you, Heather, we want to get, you to answer questions here too and have some conversation and not just, blow through 34 questions. That would be a little bit boring. The connection is lagging on your end, Dolores. Anyone else having a delay at all? We were having a little bit of trouble earlier in a smaller group. I restarted my computer and everything, but it seemed to work itself out. So just let me know if you're having a little bit of a delay. I'll slow down if need be. But some housekeeping things. I want to thank my meeting sponsors, celebrationshirts.com. By now, you guys must know them very well. They so graciously outfit me for all of my Disness meetings. They made me these custom designed shirts specifically for my company. And even more specifically, I get tank tops. And now you can have them too. They actually created a little tank top shop for me it's actually ready to roll out. I'll share my screen with you to show you. Here it is. So this is the only design available right now, but we'll be adding more designs in the coming weeks and fine-tuning the website a little bit. But if you want to get your hands on one of these tank tops, through celebrationshirts.com. You can only buy them through my shop. So Susanna, if you would, and you already did, thank you so much. I'm not sure if that is the right link for the tank tops, but we'll post it in the group. So yeah, you just come here, you choose your size, your color. It's only cotton, so the material only has one choice. But you can get them now. I think that's awesome. I was so excited when I met with Josh Deutsch at D23 this past weekend, and he showed me that the website was ready to go. But what if you don't want a tank top? No worries. You don't have to order a tank top. They have a slew of wonderful t-shirt designs. And you can choose from the designs that they have already made and kind of tweak them by adding in your family name and things like that, the dates and stuff. Or you can work with them to create your own custom design. They're awesome people. They love to talk with customers, get feedback, and create new designs at any time. So check them out, celebrationshirts.com, and whether you order a t-shirt or a tank top, always use code Disness, DISNESS, at checkout for 10% off your order. And that, on top of the free shipping that they offer, is a wonderful deal. Ooh, sorry, I'm sure that I hit the microphone. So check them out at celebrationshirts.com. Wonderful people. Okay. Yes, thank you, Susanna. That's the link for the tanks. Okay. Dolores is still having a little bit of problem. All right, I'm sorry. Hopefully it'll catch up for you as we go along. If not, maybe the replay will be better. So, all that being said, we need to get down to Disness here and answer these questions. So, thankfully, I am joined tonight by Shannon Bonador and all the wonderful travel agents with Destinations to Travel, who are my travel partners and great friends. I've got Susanna and Jeremy helping me in the background, posting links and things like that. And I'm sure Casey is here. It's hard for me to see who's here, but ton of agents with Destinations to Travel. We've got Steph Schuster of WDW Magazine and It's a Fangirl World. We will have Carl Trent of Dad's Guide to WDW a little later on. We typically have Dave Shute of YourFirstVisit.net and the easy guide to your Walt Disney World visit, but Dave is actually on location in Disney World right now. And we could have Patrick Pulliam of the Official Ticket Center a little bit later on. He's quite busy and has promised to stop in if he can make it. So, all the friends are here. Everybody's ready to go. Trina, oh, you're going to place an order? Cool. Paul, your shirts just came in. Oh, great. Yeah, Josh is a wonderful guy. I was so glad to see him at D23. We had a wonderful time. I'm sure you saw some pictures. Okay, so I have a pink that matches. Okay, yeah, I do have a pink that matches your hair. And I think you're really going to like the bow that I have to switch out on these ears. But I'll talk about that a little later. Let's get down to the questions. So my assistant, Christy, which I don't know if she's here tonight, but she was so nice to lump the questions kind of in groups of similarity. So we'll start with the D23 questions because that's pretty much been on everybody's mind after they made all those major announcements. I mean, the information coming from the parks panel was rapid fire and a lot of it, and all good things, I think. I mean, some things are sad, but I think in the end it's all going to be good. So let's see. Oh, Casey, you're dying about the ears. Well, these are not yet available in the parks, and I'll show you. I know everybody just wants to talk about these ears. So I can take this bow off. Look at that. And I bought this bow for my daughter. It's an Ariel-inspired bow. And then, see, they have these little clips. That's it. It's just this little clip mechanism and a tiny little loop in there. And presto changeo, now I'm Ariel. Pretty cute, right? So in the Disney Dream Store, which is the store that I had a pass for, they only had Sleeping Beauty, the Queen of Hearts, Cruella de Vil, and that's it. And I really wasn't digging any of them to buy a second bow, so I was hesitant. So I walked around the store a little bit, and when I went back, this woman was unpacking like 3 of these, and I was like, oh, I'll take that one. So this is what I got for Hannah, and she's pretty excited about that. So you guys have this up for grabs, this starter set of your own. And starting in September, the interchangeable bows and the starter sets will be available in the parks and most likely online and in the Shop Parks app. So there you go. We talked about it. This is what's up for grabs. So you have to ask a question. You have to be here. You have to interact. And good luck to everybody. I wish I could be like Oprah and say, here's a set for you and one for you. But I don't have that kind of scratch, guys. All right, so now let's get to the questions. Back to the D23 questions. April Mariner, your question is up first. We're going back December 2019, and based on what you learned at D23, do you think that some of the new stuff will be open? So by December 2019, Toy Story Land for sure, Star Wars is supposed to be by, well, I think by summer 2019, and I'm thinking that probably by May the 4th, that might make sense if they can make that deadline. I don't see why they couldn't do the new movie in China by then, and the minivans will be rolling out, no doubt, by the end of this summer. So December 2019, I think you're safe for all those things. The new Star Wars hotel won't be there, probably not even the restaurant in Epcot, but a lot of the good stuff will be there, particularly the new lands, and I think that's probably what you're most interested in April. But April, I hope you're here to hear your question. Otherwise, lucky you, you're the first question, and it's not too far into the playback. If you didn't do a pre-question, yes, Kelly, you can ask one now. Absolutely. Please do. All right, so that was April's question. Now we're up to Dana Spinelli. Where will the Star Wars hotel be located if this was shared? That location hasn't been confirmed, but I'm going to guess it's going to be in the Hollywood Studios area. If anyone has heard any further information on that, I mean, the information comes out so fast, it's hard to keep up. But as far as I know, a location, exact location for the Star Wars themed hotel has not been released, at least if not officially. Yes, Amy, the minivans are in a testing mode right now, only I think at the Yacht Club, Beach Club, maybe the boardwalk over there. It's not resort wide, but I expect probably by the end of the summer that it will be for everywhere. Yeah, the hotel, Tanya, I know so many people are really looking forward to that, and from what I understand, it's going to be a limited stay experience. I think the maximum is 2 nights. But like I said, I don't have official information on that, just hearsay and rumor. Okay, let's see. Patricia Cobb asks, is the new theater that's coming to Main Street going to have a show in it, and do you know where it's going? Well, I am almost certain it will have a show in it, but I'm not sure what that show will be, and it should be right off Main Street. Now, I don't know if they're going to put it next to Tony's, if it's going to occupy Tony's. I think it's going to be over there in that theater area where Mickey has his meet and greet right now. But again, that location has not been shared as far as I know. Amy Payne asks, I want to go to D23 Expo sometime, but I have no clue where to get tickets or find out information. Is it a 3-day event? Do they have it every year? Okay, so it is a 3-day event, and this is the second time I've been. They do it every 2 years. So the next D23 won't be until 2019, and we'll be there again with Destinations to Travel. We've already talked about it and signed up our early interest form, but it's very, very confusing. This was our second time there, and it's still really so much information, and there is absolutely no way you can see everything. So my advice to you is to download the D23 Expo app. Even though the expo is over right now, I just checked it earlier, and it still has the information from this year's, and you can kind of see the schedule of events, what you need to do. It's got a lot of information in that app. And other than that, follow the D23 Expo on Facebook and on Twitter. And that's where you'll get most of the information, but just be prepared. It's not an easy concept to grasp on how it all works. There's a lot of waiting in line and getting passes and wristbands, so it does take a little research in order to make the most of your trip. Let me see. D23 is on my bucket list. It's really fun. We are exhibitors, so we don't get that much time to walk around, but actually this time we had a lot of agents from Destinations to Travel come, so I did have more freedom to visit the booths. It was really very cool. I wish D23 would be at Walt Disney World next, Angela, but it'll never happen. All the bigwigs and the stars that are there are all California based, so that's where they'll have it. Plus, it's a huge event, and I don't think there's a convention center large enough on Walt Disney World property anyway to host that event. Okay, Lou, what kind of ride will replace the Great Movie Ride? It's actually Mickey's ride. He's finally getting his own ride. And from what I hear, it's going to have the most hidden Mickeys anywhere on property in that ride. It's going to be great. I can't believe it's taken this long for the boss to get his own ride. But that's what will be replacing the Great Movie Ride. I'm sad to see that go, but I'm also excited to see what they have in store for Mickey. Okay. Michelle Drum asks, when a new land or attraction opens, how long before the excitement dies down a bit? I want to experience a new Toy Story Land without fighting huge crowds. Okay, so Toy Story Land is set to open next summer, and I'm hoping they open before my trip in June with my family. A bunch of us are going. When anything is new, it's always the place where everyone flocks to. So just like in the Magic Kingdom, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is the newest thing there. So that's where people flock to first thing in the morning. Pandora has been and still is very popular. It's not as flooded with guests as it was initially, but it's still the hardest to get fast passes, and it will be the most crowded area. So I would say that Toy Story Land will be extremely crowded until Star Wars Land comes to be opened. So it's particularly since Hollywood Studios has been sort of lacking, that will really make people hop over there or use their base tickets for a day there, whereas sometimes I hear that people aren't even going over there because so many things are closed. I still think it's worth a ticket, but to answer your question, Toy Story Land will be wildly popular at Hollywood Studios until Star Wars comes and takes some of the crowd over. I don't know if Star Wars Land will ever, or Galaxy's Edge will ever be not crowded. Lauren Cooper Palladino. Lauren, I know you're here. There you are. I think the new Mickey ride sounds neat too. Lauren asks, will the minivans be charging a per person rate or per carload rate? And P.S. I want a minivan. It's $20 for the carload. And what else I know about that? They come with 2 car seats, and I think they accommodate up to 6 people. So it's not per person, $20 for the carload, which is not a bad deal if you have a lot of people in your party. I had mentioned before, Uber is a lot cheaper than that, particularly if you're only 1 or 2 people or 2 or 3 people. But it is a minivan. That's pretty cool. I think I'll take it. I'll take it at least once. You got to ride in the minivan at least once. Carolyn Tiberi. Hi, Carolyn. I know you're here too. Oh, Kelly, you're going next June too. Awesome. We are going the 8th or the 9th, somewhere around there. I can't even think. I have so many client dates in my head, but it's like into the second week of June next year. So maybe we'll get to see you there. So Carolyn, back to your question. I saw that Fantasmic at Disneyland had a makeover, and it sounded like it looked great. I walked by it. By the time we got there, the show had started, and Disneyland is very small, and the area where they play Fantasmic, it's not in a theater or anything. It's just there on the pathway. So they keep pushing you. If you're not behind the ropes getting to watch the show, you can't even stop for a second. The crowd has to move. So from what I saw, it really looked great. Will Walt Disney World have a similar makeover? I haven't heard anything about that. So I'm going to say no right now. I don't think that Hollywood Studios can afford anything else to be down right now for refurbishment. All right, so moving on. Amy Linson Adams asked, what is the best way, least expensive and shortest time, to get from an airport to Disneyland? Does Disney have any sort of transportation to assist? Okay, so LA traffic doesn't make anything short. There's traffic at every time of the day. There's no traditional rush hour. It's just always packed with people. Disney does have transportation. Jennifer Brown, one of the agents with Destinations to Travel, actually used that transportation, and she was less than impressed with the wait time and her whole experience. So I'm not going to say that we are recommending that right now. Based on her experience, I would just take an Uber, to be honest with you. We Ubered everywhere, basically, in Los Angeles. It's so easy, it's reasonable, they get you there quick, and with Uber, you can drive in the high occupancy vehicle lanes. So even when there's rush hour traffic, it's really, there'll be traffic in the HOV lane, but it's not as bad as the regular lanes. So I would Uber, or if you do want to look into the Disney transportation, I know, Susanna, we do have a link for that, and it'll tell you all about that. It doesn't tell you about the fee. So let me show you this. I'll share my screen with you. Let me pull that up first. Dun, dun, dun. Let me find that for you. So here's what I found. And I can send you, I think, Suzanne, I think I gave you the PDF link. And this shows you, it depending on what airport you're coming into from LAX or John Wayne Airport. John Wayne Airport is closer to Disneyland, so I recommend that one. But you may find it harder to find a direct flight to that airport. But this will tell you all the pricing. It's about $50 round trip per adult. So I hope that helps you out. Okay, so those were our 2 Disneyland questions. Now let's move on to Kathy Cavalier. Hi, Kathy. I think you're here. I've seen so many names. Angela says, we used John Wayne Airport, took a shuttle outside Disney, 10 minutes airport tops. Yeah, that airport is so much better. But LAX is really the only way that we could fly direct from North Carolina. So we Ubered. If you can't fly into John Wayne, it's at LAX, quick and cheap. Yep. Okay, good. Kathy Cavalier says, I saw a video on the new Copper Creek Grand Villa. Oh, it's beautiful. It looks awesome, she says. In your opinion, will the pricing be comparable to other on-property 3 bedrooms? And she needs these ears. So the Grand Villa at the Copper Creek is the 3rd most expensive Grand Villa on property, behind the Grand Floridian and the Bay Lake Tower. So for a week, it's $9,700, something like that. It's pretty pricey. It is deluxe. It's gorgeous, as you saw. John Panda has written an article about it. Susanna has that link. And also, Dave Shute went over there and took some pictures of the studios for those who don't need the Grand Villa. So, Susanna, if you could post those so people can check out the Copper Creek Villas, that would be great. But they are pretty pricey. They, you might want to look into the less expensive ones or save up a little longer and stay at Copper Creek. Trina in Portugal asks, Port Orleans, Riverside, or Caribbean Beach? There are 5 of us, and my youngest can probably still cram into the Murphy beds. And these are probably our best options due to the family suites elsewhere being more expensive. We've stayed only at Port Orleans, Riverside in the past and love it, but wouldn't mind changing it up. Okay, so yeah, you're right. For a family of 5 without doing the family suites, your options are Port Orleans, Riverside, or Caribbean Beach. Now, Caribbean Beach is actually going through a major refurbishment, and it's going to take about 2 years. So I'm not exactly sure when you're going, Trina, but Dave has done some extensive research on the Caribbean Beach refurb, and I'm actually staying there in September to get a feel of what it's like to stay there during the refurbishment. So I can report back to you on that as well. But I know that we do have a link on Dave Schute's report on the Caribbean Beach refurbishment. So if you're going soon and you don't want to have the inconvenience of having to go elsewhere for dining, you may want to just stick with the tried and true Port Orleans Riverside for this trip. But do your research, read about it. The Caribbean Beach is a great resort, but like I said, it's going through that refurb, and that might not really be what you're looking for your family's vacation. Kim Masamore. Hey, Kim. Kim's from WDW Magazine, and it's a fangirl world, too. Kim asks, which resort not on the monorail line has the best bus service? Not crowded, frequently running. Kim, it's a crapshoot. I've stayed at every level of resort, and the times that I've stayed at the Contemporary even, I've watched 3 all-star buses go by while I waited 45 minutes for a Contemporary bus. I've stayed at the Art of Animation and have seen moderate after moderate bus go by. So it's really a crapshoot. I don't think that the level of resort you stay at has a direct correlation to the frequency of your buses. As far as crowding goes, resorts like the Coronado Springs, they don't share a bus. So that naturally would be a less crowded bus. The Art of Animation, I don't think shares a bus either. So you might want to consider those two as far as it being least crowded. For the Port Orleans resorts, they sometimes share between Riverside and French Quarter, but French Quarter is always the first to pick up and the first to drop off. So that's something to consider too. But as far as frequency, they're all supposed to run at the same frequency. It's just a matter of how many people are waiting to get on the bus, I guess, that throws the schedule off. Oh, hey, Christy. Christy Grooby's here. She thinks that the Art of Animation has great bus service. There's no bus sharing, quick to the parks, and she stays there every year. So she kind of knows what she's talking about. All right. So I'm going to take a drink break, and let's see. We have a trivia question tonight. Now, our trivia question is sponsored by Dave Shute and YourFirstVisit.net. Dave is the co-author of The Easy Guide to Your Walt Disney World Visit. And let me see, I wrote down my trivia question. Oh, okay. So in honor of Ellen's Energy Adventure leaving us far too soon, I will not get to ride it one more time. Here's our trivia question. In Ellen's Energy Adventure, who is the third contestant that Ellen and Stupid Judy are playing against in Jeopardy? So answer that question for me in the comments, and I will select one correct answer from all the correct answers in the after party to choose a winner for the Easy Guide to Your Walt Disney World Visit book. And Dave will even sign it for you. So go ahead, start answering those, and then we'll move on to more questions. All right, so we have some more resort questions. All right, Sea Hail or Chael Karen, Sea Hail Karen. Do we know when Pop renovations will be done? And can Pop and Art of Animation use each other's pools? I wish Dave was here because he's our resort guru. But anyway, the refurbishment is set to be completed by May of 2018. So we've got about a little less than a year on that. And pool sharing, no. The only resorts that will let you share a pool are the Port Orleans sister resorts, the All-Star resorts, and the Yacht and Beach Club. They share a pool. Other than that, pool hopping is not allowed. Helen Hummer. We just found out we don't get the Magical Express when staying at the WDW Dolphin. Yeah, looking for the best mode of transportation at 11 p.m. Uber, hands down. Just download the Uber app. It's super simple, and there's probably codes out there for a free first ride. But I don't know why they can't loop in the Swan and Dolphin. I mean, you can use the internal transportation from Swan and Dolphin, so I'm not exactly sure what the stipulations are or what the deal is, why you can't use Magical Express to those two resorts. I mean, I know they're not Disney owned and all that, but you get so many of the same benefits. I don't know, but definitely Uber at that hour, anytime. I would use an Uber. You don't need to rent a car. Another question from April Mariner. Is the beach club typically included in discounts? Yes, typically they are. Sometimes the beach club villas will have the lower end of the discount range. Like if it's up to 20%, maybe they'll offer 10, but I've never noticed them being completely excluded from discounts. If any other agents have had that experience, please chime in, but it's always been my experience that I can get beach club. Let's see. My video isn't working, but the chat is. Oh, who's having trouble? Is anybody else having trouble? Doesn't look like it. I'm sorry. A lot of correct answers to the trivia question. Please someone post when the after party is. Okay, so Jill and everyone, the after party is just a thread that I create inside our Facebook group, and it just says after party, and then we just chat, you know, little text chats in there. It's because I can't talk for more than an hour. My throat starts to hurt and get dry, and you don't want to hear me talk for more than that amount of time anyway. So that's where the after party is. So don't worry, you'll see it. Just pop into the group. Okay, so we're moving on, and these are Fast Pass and theme park questions. Tanya Mahaffey? I probably just murdered your last name, Tanya. Tanya, I know you're here, and your question is up. I'll ask a question about reserved seating and dining for the Eat to the Beat. Worth it or not? And really, which restaurant and meal is the best bang for the buck in the seat dine choices? And hashtag I love those ears. Oh man, I really wish I could give you all ears. So the Eat to the Beat dining package, is it worth it? I think it really depends on when you're going and who you're hoping to see. Some acts are more popular than others, so if it's one that you think is going to be popular and you really want a seat, then definitely do the dining package. The dining packages are 2 credits if you're on the meal plan. So if you want to pay out of pocket, they do offer them at lunch. Here, let me show you what I found here on that. So they offer these dining packages at lunch, and it shows you the different prices for adults and kids. So I've done the dining package for the Candlelight Processional, and we did Tokyo dining, and we loved it. It wasn't my first choice. It was actually all that was left by the time we booked it, but the meal was wonderful and very filling. I know some people were concerned that it wasn't enough food, but it was several courses, and we left there stuffed. But if you're paying out of pocket, the most bang for your buck would be maybe a lunchtime buffet or all you could eat. So in that case, you could even do breakfast at the Garden Grill or do beer garden lunch. That would be the cheapest for out of pocket, and you'd get the most food. So let me see, what else? Yeah, all the rest seem to be a la carte. Although at Akershus, the breakfast is all you care to eat as well, if you want to throw in a character experience. So I hope that helps you, Tanya. Let me get back to my full screen. Jill Walker. Okay, what's a Fast Pass Plus now that Pandora's open? It sure makes things more complicated. Is it best to Fast Pass Rivers of Light, get the dining package, or wing it? We won't be going until February. Last February they had started it, but it wasn't every night, and it wasn't on the night we were there. Okay, so we did discuss this the last meeting, Jill. And for me, I would definitely Fast Pass Flight of Passage if you can get it. It's one of the most hard to get Fast Passes now. So on your day, definitely be up there at 7 a.m. Eastern and try and snag that. Rivers of Light, if you want to do Rivers of Light and don't want to use a Fast Pass for it, I wouldn't wing it, then do the dining package. And then if you're one who will ride Everest, I would use a Fast Pass for that, or Dinosaur, or the Safari. That's what I would do. And then as far as being able to ride the Navi River, I would do that at night. I would go back to Pandora later at night and see all the bioluminescent pathways and see all the amazing, what do you call it, the greenery and all that, and in all its glory at night. I think that especially if you want to ride Flight of Passage, And I had somebody in the group today say they got up there first thing and they couldn't even get Flight of Passage. It's one of those things where you may want to plan for Animal Kingdom a little further into your trip, not in the first or second day, so you have a better shot at getting your Fast Pass. It's really that popular. I mean, so many people are saying what an amazing experience it is. I think it was Soarin' on steroids was one of them. So it is really, really popular. Definitely plan to Fast Pass that. Let me see. Tanya, your video isn't working. Let's see. No trouble? Good, no trouble. Let's see. I don't know, all these comments, I have to go there. Oh yeah, Kim was just in Pandora. You can check out It's a Fangirl World on Facebook, and she's got some videos, and it'll show you exactly how long the line was first thing in the morning. Hi, Kayla. How are you? Your question is coming up soon. Cheeseburger pods. Where were they? Oh, that's in Pandora at the Satuli Canteen. Is that right? Anthony couldn't get a Fast Pass for Flight of Passage at 7 a.m. Got one around 1 p.m. later that day. Wow, that's odd. Well, that just goes to show you, keep trying. Don't give up. Okay, so let's go. Cindy Green, can more than one person make Fast Pass selections at the same time on different computers? I see you're trying to strategize. You could certainly try it. I don't think I've ever tried that. I've done dining reservations on multiple computers without a problem. So go for it. Give it a shot. Has anyone tried that before? I haven't had to try that for Fast Passes, but maybe one of our agents has. I mean, sometimes we've got clients that are traveling on the same day, and I've had that situation with dining reservations, but not Fast Passes. Amy did not like the cheeseburger pods. I don't like the look of the cheeseburger pods, so I don't know. I don't think I would ever order them. I might take a bite. Let's see. Kayla was playing bingo in a LuLaRoe group and won some leggings. Are they Disney leggings? I hope they were. Let's see. 10 a.m. I got Flight of Passage for 2 different days in September in the middle of our vacation. That's awesome, Heather. Well, that's great. I guess it just depends on the day. But keep trying if you can't get it. That's the moral of this story. Hi, Michelle. I'm glad you're here. All right, so let's go. Andrea Henson. With all of the ride closures at Hollywood Studios, would you just plan for a half day at that park? Would you skip that park until the next trip when more stuff is open? I wouldn't skip it. Obviously, if you have a park hopper ticket, you can go do what you want to do and then park elsewhere. But even if you have a base ticket, I still think Hollywood Studios has a lot to offer. Particularly if you have Star Wars fans in your group. But even not, I mean, I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I like, the classic Star Wars with Luke and Chewie and Han Solo and that, but I never skip Hollywood Studios. Now, if you had little ones, there's a lot to do there. Maybe you want to make it a 3/4 of a day park. I think it's more than a half day if you want to see everything that's available. So maybe you sleep in a little late. You don't want to miss the nighttime entertainment, that's for sure. So maybe that's your sleep in or your swim early, or maybe you go down to Disney Springs earlier in the day and then head over to Hollywood Studios. I still think it's worth it. That's just me. If someone else disagrees with me, please chime in. I mean, we want to give people both sides of the coin, all sides of the coin, to make their decision. It's a lot of money and you don't want to waste any of it, but I don't think Hollywood Studios would be a waste of a park ticket. Amanda Goodrich, when is the Tower of Terror closing for renovations? And when will the Tower of Terror reopen? I have not heard of any Tower of Terror refurbishment on the schedule. Has anyone else? I I also heard that Splash Mountain will be down for a bit too. Can you please give me all the details on both rides? My family and I will be going to Disney World September 13th to the 21st. Well, Splash Mountain will be closed during your trip. That is going to be closed from August 28th to November 16th. Let's see. Had anybody heard of Tower of Terror closing for refurbishment? I have not. So, Amanda, I think you're good there. But unfortunately, Splash, during one of the hottest times in Florida, will be closed. I don't know why, but that's happening. Sabrina Crane, what's the best favorite or your favorite quick service for dinner at Epcot? Well, Sabrina, it depends on when you're going, because if it's during one of the festivals, whether it's Food and Wine or Flower and Garden, I like to eat around the world in the little kiosks for dinner. But if you're not going during one of those festivals, my favorite quick service is the La Cantina de San Angel. It's right there on the water. You can get your Mexican, your taco, your guacamole, whatever you want from there, and watch Illuminations, which I really enjoy that very much. Or if you want to eat inside, the Sunshine Seasons inside the Land Pavilion has really a huge variety of choices there. Those are both really good. World Showcase has some great quick service dining, but those are my two favorites in Epcot. What do you guys say? Okay. Sunshine Seasons during a non-festival time, so Casey agrees with me. Okay, yeah, good. So yeah, nothing is confirmed about Tower of Terror. You got me nervous a little bit there. Let's see. Yorkshire County Fish Shop. Yeah, I don't eat fish, so I wouldn't recommend that. But if you do, I know that the fish and chips, people say that they're really good. Oh, so Sabrina, you're going during Food and Wine Festival, so that is my choice above anything else, is to go to the different kiosks and eat around the world for dinner. And you can do that using snack credits if you're on the dining plan. And I think that's Paul's question. Can you use your dining plan snack credits for food booths at the Food and Wine Festival? Yes, you can, and yes, you should, because it's the best use of a snack credit anywhere. Some of those little tasting things are like $6.50 to $7, and you see the little DDP logo next to it. It's a score. Definitely, if you're going during one of those festivals and you plan to eat there, save your snack credits for there. You get the best bang for your Disney buck. Matthew, we have a reservation for Be Our Guest for lunch. I know you can order your food 30 days prior to when you go. Can you use a meal credit, or do you have to use a credit card? You can use a meal credit. Or should you use one and save the quick service credit use your credit card and save the quick service credit for later? No. Definitely use your quick service credit at Be Our Guest, because it's one of the most expensive quick service meals, and it's a great value. It's a great use of your quick service credit. So you definitely want to use those there. Cronuts. I just see cronuts. Paul plans to be rolled around because he'll be stuffed. Yeah. Food and Wine is the best. I mean, I'm not a big drinker, and I definitely recommend avoiding it on the weekends because there's a lot of local people going there for a good time. But during the week, during the afternoon, early evening, Food and Wine is amazing. All right, so we've got Jennifer Carbonell. Can people really order appetizers per person per sit-down meal that isn't a buffet when on the deluxe dining plan? Love those ears. Yes, Jennifer, they really can. And let me show you. Here we go. Let me share my screen. So here's the Disney Deluxe dining plan. And you can see right here for lunch and dinner, when it's not a buffet, one appetizer, one entree, one dessert, one non-alcoholic beverage. Now this is for 2017. For 2018, you will be able to order one alcoholic beverage with your deluxe dining plan, or with all the dining plans, I believe, for the Disney dining plan and deluxe dining plan, not quick service. So yeah, there you have it. And Susanna, if you could post the PDF file for this for Jennifer, that would be great. Let me get back to my full screen. Thank you, Susanna. Angela Blackman, which would you choose? Hoop-de-doo Review or the Luau at the Polynesian, which is the Spirit of Aloha show, or would you use 2 table service credits on these at all? Okay, so I've seen Hoop-de-doo. It was totally worth 2 table service credits. We had a blast. I have not done the Spirit of Aloha show, but I imagine that it's really fun and entertaining because it's been around so long. But there is, let me see if I have it up here. All Ears does a wonderful rate and review. Let me find it for you. It's at allears.net, and they'll do all the different dining restaurants, Walt Disney World Resort restaurants. I had it here before. Anyway, if you go to allears.net and just click on their rate and review, I'll go back to the main page and show you. So right here, Walt Disney World Dining, and then down here somewhere will be, here we go, special dining events and shows. You'll have the Hoop-de-doo Review and the Spirit of Aloha dinner. And you'll see that Hoop-de-doo is rated far higher than Spirit of Aloha, but you'll get some really great feedback on people who have done both. And that'll help you make your decision. Go back here. Okay. Thank you, Angela, for that question. Okay, so we're winding down here. These are questions about travel planning and travel agent questions. Jessica Hoffman, I know you're here. I'm trying to pick a date for next year. I probably can't afford to go before May, and I want to go before my youngest turns 3 on July 27th. Before they're 3, they're free, so that's a good move. Considering not wanting to pull kids from school during the last few weeks, I'm looking at either the first week of May, which is a great time, or sometime June and July. Of those weeks, what do I need to consider? Leaning more towards Disney World. Well, the first week of May, you'll probably have the least crowds and the weather will be perfect. I love the first week of May. If you can go in June, I would go the first few weeks of June. The crowds would be lower and the temperatures won't be exactly that hot just yet. Yeah, those are the times that I would go. Going for the first time in June next year, so I'm hoping all of my research has paid off and it won't be so bad that second week of June. I've been in July, but a long, long time ago. I know Kim Masonmore goes in July, and she was just there. Kim, if you're still in here, let us know how the crowds were, or if anyone was just there, how the crowds in July were. I mean, typically the summer vacation crowds are pretty big, but I've heard that the crowds aren't really that bad, other than in Pandora this year. Yeah, see, people are agreeing with me. May is the best time to go. If you can go in May, definitely go in May, Jessica. Okay, Susan Riga. Crowd levels at Walt Disney World the week of Thanksgiving. How bad is it really? Most reports I see online say to expect huge crowds, but I've talked to people that have been that time and they say it isn't bad. What should we realistically expect? It is totally that bad. It is very crowded the week of Thanksgiving. So it picks up around Tuesday. Wednesday is really crowded. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The crowds start to dwindle on Sunday. So you're looking at, say, out of 10, you're looking at anywhere between 8 and 10. Typically doesn't go to capacity during Thanksgiving like it would at Christmas, but it gets really close. It's really crowded. I don't really know when the people that you spoke to went, whether it was years ago, but as of late, it's a really popular thing to do for the Thanksgiving holiday for people who don't celebrate with, their big family or anything like that. Going to Disney World is a popular thing to do, and it gets crowded. Teresa Malone. How do I find out exactly when new discounts are being offered and when? My daughter and I are going in November and really need a discount. It seems like by the time I see them, have been announced hours before I hear. Okay, so I'm assuming that you don't have a travel agent, because if you did, your travel agent would know about those discounts and help you apply it to your reservation. Other than that, be on social media. They'll be announced all over the place. Follow us, follow Destinations to Travel. Anytime a new discount is announced, we post it right away. The Disney website has a special offers link at the bottom of their website that tells you what special offers they're offering, but I don't know how quickly they update that link. Your best bet is to follow Destinations to Travel agents, follow in the group here, follow Get Down to Disness. All of us, as soon as a deal becomes available, we put it out there. I'm sorry that you are hearing things late. There is a code out now during that time frame, so I hope you were able to apply it. Stephanie Graham, say you have to go during one of the busiest times of the year, spring break for instance. Any tips for making this day magical when you're shoulder to shoulder with people? Okay, so my advice is always get up early, get there, do your thing, take a midday break. You're going to want to get there during a busy time like spring break, like an hour before the park officially opens. If it's Magic Kingdom, they'll let you in into the Main Street area, so you won't be just bored waiting outside. But get to the park an hour before it opens. Do what you can. Strategize so you're going on attractions that are pretty close to each other, so you can just move around in one little area without doing a lot of backtracking. And do that until the park fills up where you're uncomfortable. Then go grab something to eat, maybe at a close by resort, or go back to your resort and swim or take a rest, and then have made your FastPass Plus selections for later in the afternoon, early evening, when you can go back, ride 3 headliners using FastPass, and then you'll start to see the crowds dwindle as people with really young ones head out of the park, and then you can spend, your day there until park closing, which during that time could be midnight, 1 a.m. So definitely during those times, plan for a midday break to recharge and plan to close out the park. So your best bet is to get up early, then take a rest, and stay out late to get the most out of it and not be shoulder to shoulder for too long, because that gets old, it gets annoying, it's hot, people are grumpy, and you're at Disney, you don't want that. What's your advice? For Stephanie, if you've been in that situation, I've never really been to Disney during a time where it was shoulder to shoulder. If you have, I'd love to hear how it went for you and what you did. The key is to just take it with a grain of salt. If the crowds are getting too overwhelming, go into a gift shop, go into a corner somewhere, and just decompress a little bit before you head back into the masses. And try and remember you're at Disney, you're there to have a good time, and just let it roll off your back. Take deep breaths and go say hi to Mickey Mouse. Have a Mickey ice cream bar. Have a Rice Krispie treat. Have a churro. Churros always make my day. Kayla Kelly, you're up. Kayla. It is Kayla. Is it too late to make you my travel agent if I already made the reservations through Disney myself? Well, it depends on when you made those reservations. So if it's within the last 30 days, you can transfer it to me. So if you booked your Disney trip within the last 30 days, let me know and I can send you a transfer form, and then, I can help you out. If it's after 30 days, unfortunately, they do not allow agents to take over reservations. So in that case, if you've booked far enough out, you could always cancel that trip and rebook. But if your trip is coming up, you're not going to want to do that for fear that you might not get everything that you had before. But thank you for that question. April Mariner has another one. How does it work when using a travel agent? Do they book your dining and fast passes? Do you just give them your itinerary, and can you tweak your dining if they made them? It's all about communication, April. So if you want your travel agent to do everything, they'll do everything for you. If you want to book your dining, you go right ahead. If you want to make tweaks to reservations your travel agent already made, feel free to do that, but let them know so they know that you've changed it. Because if you've got them working on an itinerary for you and they think, well, you're having dinner at Be Our Guest at 6, but you've changed it to 8 o'clock, then that's really wasting their time and all that itinerary planning. They're going to have to go back and modify. So just always keep the lines of communication open. If you saw something that you were looking for, that you're both looking for you, and you got it, let them know. And vice versa. They will tell you immediately if they've got something that you've been looking for. But you can have as much or as little control over the planning process as you wish. Heather Hamilton Venus, where do you recommend renting a scooter from? Also, how do you deal with rude comments from people that can't see I just had my hip replaced and may question why someone under 50 needs a scooter? Well, to those people, just ignore them. I mean, that's just ignorance, and, don't waste your time. Just ignore that. As far as renting a scooter, I've never actually had to rent a scooter, but I did find that Orlando scooter rental. I can share my screen here with you. Yeah, Orlando scooter rental was one of the ones that came up when I did a search. If someone else has some experience actually renting a scooter, please comment, because I really don't have one that I recommend, but this one came up as a pretty popular one and well rated. So if you do have one, please comment and help Heather out. But Heather, please don't worry. A lot of people have scooters for various reasons, and you can't always see the ailments that people are suffering from. So if anyone is that ignorant to question because they can't see an obvious issue, well, then that's their problem and not yours, and don't you worry about it. Katie Beck. Does Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party seriously start in August? Yes, it does. It's so popular. They decided to throw in 2 parties in August. So the first one is August 25th, and the second one is on August 29th. And I know Christy Gruby is very glad that they did that, because she will be able to go finally for the first time. So excited for her. And our final question, I think I'm getting it in under an hour, from Debbie Smythe. Are there discounts for Disney cruises? Not really. They do have a Florida resident discount and military discounts, as well as Canada resident discounts, but they're very limited and only on certain sailings. With booking Disney cruise, a good rule of thumb is to book early. The cruise prices are the cheapest the further out. So as you get closer to the sailing time, the prices increase. But as far as like regular, common Joe Schmo discounts, they really don't do it because they don't need to. These cruises consistently sell out. Now, when they add the 3 new ships to their fleet, which was announced at D23, maybe you'll see that, because maybe they won't be able to sell out as consistently as they are now. But we will find out. Only time will tell. And that is number 34, and we did it in under an hour. Awesome. Okay, so I am going to create the after party thread. Make sure that you've answered the trivia question to win a copy, or to qualify to win a copy of Dave's book. Be sure that you've commented, said something, said hello, asked a question to qualify to win these little beauties right here. And I guess that's it. I'm so impressed that we did this in under an hour, guys. Our next meeting will be in 2 weeks. I'm not traveling finally. So where are we? We are on the 19th, so it will be on August 2nd. So I hope to see you guys here again. I'll definitely see you in the group, and I'll be going live next Wednesday on the Get Down to Disness main Facebook page at 12:15 Eastern lunchtime. So that'll be next Wednesday. I don't know what we're going to talk about. It'll be just one quick topic, just for me to say hello to you guys, and I hope to see you there. But right now, come over to the after party. We'll hang out. We'll chat some more, answer some of the questions that I didn't get to see in here while I'm talking. It's very difficult to do. And yeah, so meet me over there. I'll see you guys later. Have a great week, have a great weekend, and all that. Bye.